foolish feline creature. You are not permitted on the new train layout. Leave, or you will be exterminated.
Hey everyone, it's Ravenhawk6910 reporting once again. It is the beginning of November 2014, and it's time for another layout blog video. So first off, guys, let me give my sincerest apologies for posting the October blog video very late and essentially combining it with the November blog video. However, there have been some major family matters that have come up in the last couple of weeks. My grandpa has been diagnosed with terminal leukemia and has been moved over to our house to live out the last few days of his life. So times have been very tough for us right now, and I really just have not had time to come out to the layout and do anything. Also, another reason I haven't really been investing much time in the layout out here is because I've been devoting some of my money towards a new interest and a brand new layout that is taking construction inside my house. But we'll get to that in just a few minutes. First off, let me start off by showing you some of the new items that I picked up over the past month in October. As you might have seen in a previous video, I got this beautiful old Bowser T-1 from a friend of mine. This thing is really old. The Bowser T-1s haven't been produced for a long time, and it's all die-cast metal. It roars like a can opener, but it's a fantastic engine, and I really love it. It's not perfect, but it's still a very beautiful T-1. However, one thing I am going to do at some point is I am going to remotor it, because there's currently two motors inside of this thing, and there's a kit somewhere that's a single motor and it's a can motor, and I'm going to put that inside, and that'll provide it with much smoother operation and without the jolts and without the roaring hornet's nest that it currently is right now. However, it is still very nice to finally have one of these iconic Penske steam engines in my fleet. A couple pieces of rolling stock that came in this past month are two Amtrak Viewliners from Walthers. These cars are really hard to find. Walthers only made one run of the Viewliner, and it was several years ago. And since then, they haven't made another run. I've heard they were going to make a new run recently, but as you guys know, the silver finish that they're putting on those cars now really jacks up the price. I think the last price I saw on the Amtrak Amfleet cars, the new ones, were probably $61 or $70, which, yeah, I'm not paying that much for a passenger car. So anyways, I found these two passenger cars. A friend of mine, TJ, was selling these, and he sold these to me for $50, and they are really nice cars. They're good runners. I may need to swap the couplers out at some point, but other than that, I'm really happy with these. So big thanks to TJ, and I'll include a link to his YouTube channel. He primarily models BNSF, and he's got some really neat models, and he's got a nice layout as well. So definitely go ahead and check him out. That takes care of all the new stuff that's come in this past month. Let's move on to the projects that I'm working on. Starting off with this steam locomotive. This is an Oriental Limited Brass USRA 282 Mikado that I got out of a friend's estate a few months back. And this one is undergoing a restoration project to turn it into Nickel Plate Road number 587, which is owned by the Indiana Transportation Museum and was also in the Norfolk Southern steam excursion fleet in the early 90s. Now, 587 has a few detail changes that are different to this USRA Mikado, and I am working on doing some of those changes. However, I'm not going to be able to do all of them, but I am going to get this as close as I can get it to be. One major change that I am going to do to this model of the 587 is I'm going to give it a new tender. The original tender, as you see right here, is identical to that of what the 587 had when it was in freight service. And I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to decal it for the nickel plate. However, for its excursion career, it was given a tender off of a Berkshire, like that of Nickel Plate Road 765. And that was a much larger tender. In fact, it was so large, the tender actually stood over the top of the cab on the engine. It was that much bigger. So my plan is to find a Berkshire tender for this, so that way I can model both versions of the 587. Now, I can't say when this is going to be finished because there's a lot of other mechanical work that needs to be done on this engine as well to get it operational again. But rest assured, when this engine is finished, I will show you guys first. The second new item to come in terms of projects is this Shapeways RLS cab. This is another one of the cabs that was designed by my friend Jody Lee. And this is actually the prototype that he had made when he was testing these cabs, and he sold it to me for 20 bucks. So I really thank Jody for giving me the opportunity to get this cab off of him. Now, this cab, unlike some of the other Shapeway cabs that we've seen in the past, this one already has the cutout for the battery boxes, so it can just drop right onto the frame with minimal modifications. Now, this cab is made for an Atlas C40-8. The only thing that you'll have to do is cut off a small section of the battery boxes in front of the nose. That way you can just drop it on there. Now, this is intended for a C40-8. You don't want to get the one with the wide cab, as it will take off the battery boxes and you won't have anything else to set this cab down on. However, this is going to be part of a project later on down the road. As you remember, I've already got another C40-8.5W, and that's this engine right here. This is my original C40-8.5W, which I used a Bachmann Spectrum engine as the base. This one uses a standard crescent cab like you would find on the SD60Es. Now, the biggest difference between the RLS cab and the crescent cab is that the crescent cab has this big overhang on the top of the cab, whereas the RLS cab doesn't have that. The RLS cab is a little more flush to the body. It still hangs out a little bit, but not quite like on the crescent cabs. So that does it for stuff out here on the layout, guys. Now, before I close, I'm going to take you guys inside the house and show you an entirely new layout that I'm working on in an entirely different scale than what I normally do. So let's head on inside the house. Alright guys, we're here in my bedroom, and yeah, you'll have to excuse it's still a little cluttered. I'm still working on that. But as you can see, I've got these two craft tables set up in here now, and on them are some of my new Lionel and MTH electric trains. Some of you guys will recall the Pennsylvania Railroad S2 turbine that's on the left from my Memphis model train video that I posted. I finally managed to find a tender for it a few weeks ago, and on the right is this Santa Fe Warbonnet F3. It's the Lionel number 2343. This one's a dummy unit, so it just free rolls. However, it's still real nice considering its age. And then some of the newer pieces that I've picked up in terms of the O-gauge stuff are some of these freight cars. Two of them, including this box car and this operating crane car are both from the MTH Railroaders Club, this being the car for 1999 and the box car being the car for 2013. The other cars I've picked up include this Lionel Canadian Pacific box car in the Pac-Man scheme, this Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy gondola, also made by Lionel, this Frisco boxcar, double door, a Lehigh Valley coal hopper, and down there on the very end is a Lionel SP caboose. All of these three cars on the rear are post-war. Then this and the Canadian Pacific boxcar are products of the 70s. And then the crane car and this box car, of course, are brand new production MTH Rail King. So as you can see, I've got a pretty nice collection built up here. And the track these are on are all Lionel Fast Track. That's what I'll be using on this layout in here. I just like how it snaps together easily. And this will all be powered by a Lionel CW80 transformer. So that will allow me to run older locomotives that have AC motors, as well as more modern engines as well. The other two pieces I've got are these two old Lionel tin-plate pre-war cars. These are both 2600 series cars. This one, the 2680 Sunoco tank car, and then the 2657 caboose. These are both products of the 1920s and 1930s, so they're extremely old, but given their age, they're actually in pretty good condition. The caboose came off of eBay, and the tank car I got at Trainmasters. The last item on the O-Gauge list that I want to show you guys is this Lionel 1700 Junior Streamliner. This set was made probably around 1937 or 1938, and a friend of mine, James, found this at a train show where he lives, and he messaged me on Facebook asking if I wanted it, and I said, hell yeah, I do. So he got it from the guy, and it's on the way here as we speak. So yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on it. It's in really great condition, considering its age. I got a couple more photos I'll show you here. There's the tail end car, and then there's the full set. So it's a 4-car streamlined train. So yeah, I'm very happy I was able to find one of these. The Junior is probably one of my favorite pre-war sets that was made. These trains were made during the Depression, and they were sort of an economy line that Lionel had. So yeah, big thanks to James for thinking about me and getting a hold of me so I was able to get this. And as soon as this thing comes in, I will make a video showing this thing running, because I really want to show this train to you guys. So the next time you guys see this layout, it hopefully will be operational and I'll be able to run some trains in here. I've got enough straight track right now. I just need some either O-36 or O-41 curves, and then I'm also going to get the, like I said, the CW80 transformer. And as soon as I get those going and I lay down a green cloth on top of these two craft tables, I will be able to get some O-Gauge trains running in here, and I'll actually have 2 layouts now, and that'll be really cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to talk about this month, guys, and I am sorry that the October and November blog videos have kind of been smashed together, but understand that family does come first, and my grandpa is still very, very sick, so please keep him as well as all of us in your thoughts and prayers. But anyways, hopefully things will turn out for the better sometime soon, and we will be able to get back to the things we love, which is model trains. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Not quite sure when it'll be, but you will be the first ones to see it when it is up online. This is Ravenhawk6910, signing off.